criminal offense to speak out against his lordship. It's a 10-minute video. Here's some of the excerpts. It hasn't been edited except for the cuss words. And boy, there's plenty of those. Imagine, this is standard public school in America in a city. I see videos like this all the time. And they tell them, it's the law to take the shots. So they give kids shots. And the parents say, hey, that's illegal. And they go, see if the police will do anything. Hey, you took my 11-year-old for an abortion. Word is, it's one of the teachers got her pregnant. I see these cases all the time in the news. The police aren't going to do anything, punk. Ha ha, your daughter's ours. Ha ha ha. Anyways, that's how they work. So it's the state. And this is who's teaching your children. This woman obviously would love to send myself or you to a re-education camp. And the young man who's quite articulate, he keeps saying, I'm not trying to slander him. He's trying to agree with the teacher. It's not slander to disagree with somebody. It's not slander to say Obama's a crook when he is, shipping guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment, getting caught lying. It's not slander to say John Corzine's a crook. Sue me, John Corzine. Truth is the total defense. Truth is, I mean, if I get up here and say, Pepsi in these news reports, and Pepsi hasn't denied it, in fact, they fought to have their shareholders not be able to stop it, is putting fetal tissue in their drinks as flavoring. I mean, if that isn't true, see, new listeners think, oh, this is some crazy stuff. You think I'm on XM and over 100 stations, AM and FM, and been on air 17 years and haven't been sued? I mean, I've been sued by a schizophrenic, I think, twice. And it's like crazy stuff that I'm the devil and, you know, stuff like that. You've got to just do a filing that obviously this is insane or, you know, stuff like that. But technically, I've never really been sued, knock on wood, because I believe I'm telling the truth. There's no malice aforethought. That's important. And B, I'm almost always going off legislation, documents, eyewitnesses, things like that. So if you're a new listener, you're going, fetal tissue? Yeah, folks, almost every vaccine out there, even if it's grown on eggs, the original batch that it's produced in and then mass-produced is from fetal tissue. You've heard about stem cell? That's code word for babies. So, see, one day it's, stem cell. It'll heal the blind, heal the back. They never told you they could get even better stem cells out of breast tissue. They can get it out of men, different fatty deposits. There's a lot. They want the mass-produced, cheap baby flesh. They're aborting millions a year here, tens of millions a year in China, in India. This is some valuable beef product, longham product, as they call it. Okay? They take your blood at birth. They think they own you. 800-259-9231 is the number to join us. We'll get into all the other news when we have some big guests coming up as well. But right now, let's go to the teacher. And we aired this on the nightly news last night, the excerpts of it for Prisonplanet.tv viewers. Here is a few of those excerpts of Land of the Free, Home of the Brave, where you don't talk bad about the president. And he says, but people can talk about Romney. Romney wants to be Obama. He isn't Obama, so he can't. And you could tell this woman is feeling powerful through Obama. Yeah, I mean, I make the joke, people used to love George Bush like he was their daddy. I was at dinner with a really smart guy who knows about the New World Order, knows the West is funding al-Qaeda and terrorists as a pretext to be over there, knows they're growing the opium, knows it's about the lithium, knows it all. But still is like, yeah, well, when we're over there, I'm sure he's training some of the military and people, but it's not our military, it's not our government. And it's like, he's, well, you know, but he's mad because buddies have been killed, so he wants to kill everybody over there. And my whole point is, but this was all artificial. And it's like he just still couldn't register that, even though he knew all the facts and is smart. There was the cognitive dissonance of, yeah, but they hate us. Well, yeah, because for 60, 70 years, the West has been over there stirring those people up and putting radicals in every time those countries try to build themselves up. Yeah, there are a bunch of radicals in the Middle East and other areas. Have you looked at how the State Department and others radicalized them on purpose and paid to put in radical madrasas? Even the Washington Post admits they did free school books for the kids in the Middle East where it talks about jihading evil Westerners and 4 hand grenades plus 3 equals 7. And he just couldn't register that. And I'm like, the other guy's there, and I'm like, well, you know, the government killed Pat Tillman. He goes, yeah, I know that. But Pat Tillman's still a hero. And I'm saying, well, yeah, he gave up The football contract went because he believed in it, but then he was even more of a hero when he found out it was a fraud. He said, I'm going to expose this. And the Pentagon said, we want you to get out, just go back and be a big Ranger hero for propaganda purposes. He said, you know what, I'm just going to stay here, but for my buddies, not for you. So I get why, but that's the trap. They get you into the fight. Now it's your buddies that are over there getting killed. You're mad. You want to go over there and kill the guys that are killing you. They're killing you because they're mad. It's called a vendetta, and men do that. That's normal. 5,000, 6,000 years ago, somebody kills somebody in your tribe. You're going to go back, and you're going to find them, and you're going to kill them. I get that, but the globalists are scientific. They're using sociology, anthropology, psychology to understand how men operate and how women operate to push our buttons, to pull our chain, to pull our string. And you've got to get above that, above emotion. And then once you make a cold decision, then use your emotion as your passion to fuel yourself. There's a place for emotion, but you have to control it. And go, wait a minute, this whole thing's staged. Okay. But it's a side issue and I'm ranting. The point is that TSA is under attack because you're doing things that are wrong. They put you in a position. Everybody hates you now. Some of the people come in are cowards and act like they like you and go, I'm sorry people are getting on to you. And you smile at them and I'll barely pat your genitals down. It's all right. It's like a little sick sympathizer collaborator thing. This has all been worked out. We're all singing to somebody else's sheet of music. We've become drones, puppets. That's why they call everything a role. You're in this police role. You're in this educator role. You're in this bureaucratic role. And you're supposed to follow the role. And the more you play the role, that means being cookie cutter, like an automaton, a biological android, the more you excel in the system. And so that allows central programmers with their teleprompters and their scripts to fully control society. Well, let me explain something. I'm off the reservation. I'm not following anybody's role or script, except the founders, because I've read Plato, I've read Nietzsche, I've read Cicero, I've read it all. Let me tell you, Thomas Jefferson's got my number. Patrick Henry's got my number. Those guys took the pure synthesis of all that knowledge and they had it right. They produced the best system. They know what's going on. And you know who I follow? I'm in that role. Okay? That's the shoe that fits for me. That's what makes my boat float. That's what built this country. That's what works. That's what's got the proof. That's what wins the Super Bowl every year if you just implement it. Okay? You want prosperity? You want freedom? But see, the problem is you get that much freedom, you get prosperity, and you become decadent. You become corrupt. Corruption gets institutionalized, and you are where we are. Rome about to fall. Let's go ahead and go to Rome. This is Rome, a power-tripping bureaucrat. This woman sounds just like the women. Cops, big, fat. I mean, I'm not bashing fat people because I've been a little overweight, but there's something about giant, fat women with batons beating peaceful protesters and laughing because it's like their ego, and there's these big, giant, self-propelled stomachs beating people that may not have all the answers, but at least have the First Amendment or trying to do something, protesting NATO and all these wars and narcotics trafficking. And I saw the video this morning, in fact, I meant to give it to you guys, of these big, giant police women with nobody resisting them, beating people with batons in Chicago. And I mean, if that isn't pathetic. And they're smiling, they're laughing. And it's so pathetic. And that's what big government gives you. A world where all these nobodies, I mean, a somebody is too prideful to want to go and beat people with a billy club. You know, somebody who's got respect for themselves would only use a billy club on somebody when they had to. And somebody who's somebody would have to hold back not to kill you with the first strike. But somebody who's a nobody has got all this stuff to prove, and it's totally sick. It's totally, totally sick. I mean, I'm talking about women whose rear ends are probably 4 feet across, okay? I'm talking about self-propelled hippopotamuses beating peaceful people in the First Amendment, and now clearly they set up these people that, you know, one of them has a criminal record for getting drunk on tequila and breaking into a swimming pool. If that was the case, I'd be in jail because I did some stuff like that in high school. You know, climbing fences and stuff, jumping in the swimming pool. Even though your friend's got a swimming pool, let's go down to the community pool and climb the fence and, you know, jump in the pool. Let's throw the pool furniture in. Used to, the cops would just come and, take you home and you get in trouble. Nowadays, you end up dead. But side issue, let's go ahead and go to this tape. Here it is.
You do not disrespect the president of the United States.
I'm not disrespecting. I just had a question.
You don't do that.
All I have is a question. You freaked out.
No, I told you, do not.
It was a question. It was a question.
Because I'm telling you something now about me. As a teacher, I'm not supposed to allow you to disrespect the president of the United States. I'm not.
I didn't disrespect him. I was asking
You
questions.
are. You do. You always do.
I have different beliefs. Whenever Bush was in, everybody talked about Bush. Everybody did.
No, everybody he was shitty.
And see, everybody talked. If you ever said anything bad about Bush while he was in office, say something.
Sit down a minute. Do you realize that people were arrested for saying things bad about Bush?
It doesn't matter.
No, do you realize you're not supposed to slander?
I'm
the
not
president.
slandering. I asked a question.
But I'm saying.
It's not slander, Dad. Unbelievable.
You're not supposed to slander. People were arrested for saying derogatory things about Bush.
You would have to say some pretty effed up crap to get him to be arrested. Because they cannot take away your right to have your opinion or your freedom of speech. They can't take that away even if unless you threaten the president.
Sweetheart, you know, everybody thinks that when you're arrested, they're supposed to be able to read your rights to you. But they don't read your rights to you every time you're arrested. Did you know that?
I've never been arrested.
But did you know that, though?
No.
Okay. Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. I'm saying that to you. I'm saying, yeah, some people did talk bad about Bush. But the thing about it is, he was the president of the United States. And there were people who were arrested or reprimanded for saying some things, for bad things.
Listen to this idiot. That's who teaches your children.
But see, the thing about it is, guess what?
How much you want to bet this woman looks like a hippopotamus?
He was the man at the time. So I had to deal with what had to be dealt, right?
Oh, yeah, but you got to deal with the president.
That's right.
But still, though.
As a social studies teacher, I cannot allow you to slander any president in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Past or current.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, tyrant. Yes, ma'am. And it just goes on and on. There's like 10 minutes of it. I'm sure you've already heard it. Again, we would have aired it yesterday, but we had 3 guests on. But to listen to this really is disgusting. And I've seen him kick people out of school. Like Mr. Wannick, he's now out of high school because he said vaccines are dangerous and talked to other students. And they're like, that's it, you're in trouble. You're not allowed to do that in America. And you've got these people in bureaucracies everywhere. I mean, imagine the police arresting people nationwide for filming them in public. I mean, that's crazy criminal. They have become what North Korean police are in many cases when they act like that. Okay, let's start going to your phone calls here. And then coming up, we're going to get into the economy, world news, and more. We've got some medical news as well that's extremely important. And I've got 13-year-old among 2 arrested on suspicion of possessing stolen military weapon. This came out a few days ago, and I meant to get